Last month, I gave myself a weekend and one rule. Automate 9 things, and none of them can take longer than an hour to build. Here's what actually got done, how long each one really took, and which 3 I'd skip if I did it again.
This isn't a list of ideas. Everything here is running right now, and I'll tell you the honest time saved, including the ones where the answer is almost nothing.
Rules of the weekend. No new tools I hadn't used before, no rebuilding anything that already worked, and every single one had to be usable by Sunday night. Let's go.
Number 1, and the smallest, screenshots into text. I drop an image into a folder, and an AI reads it and writes the text into a note file with the date.
Build time 20 minutes. I use it constantly. Receipts, error messages, whiteboard photos, slides from talks. It's the smallest automation on this list, and probably the one I trigger most.
That's a pattern worth noticing. The tiny automations that remove 5 seconds of friction get used 50 times a week. The grand ones get used monthly.
Number 2, voice notes into tasks. I record a rambling voice memo while walking, and by the time I'm home, it's been transcribed, cleaned up, split into individual tasks, and added to my list. 40 minutes to build. The easy part is the AI splitting one messy paragraph into 4 separate, clearly worded tasks. That's the bit I used to do badly at a desk. A read later folder that reads for me. I save a link, and overnight it produces a 5-bullet summary and pulls out any specific number or claim worth remembering.
Important caveat, and I'll be honest here, I do not learn anything from these summaries. What they do is help me decide what deserves a real read. That's triage, not learning, and confusing the two makes you dumber, not faster.
A weekly review that writes its own first draft. Sunday evening, it pulls what I published, what I invoiced, and what I completed, and writes a short summary of my week. Then I edit it, which takes about 5 minutes, instead of staring at a blank page for 25. Build time was under an hour, and it's the reason I've now done a weekly review 15 weeks in a row after years of failing at it.
The insight there is generalizable. The hardest part of most recurring habits isn't the thinking, it's starting. Automating the first draft removes the exact friction that kills the habit.
Number 5, invoices from a sentence. I send a message like Invoice Acme, 12 hours, August retainer, and it generates the PDF, files it, and adds it to the tracking sheet the chaser workflow watches.
This took the full hour, and it's the one with a genuinely measurable return. I now invoice the same day instead of on the weekend, and getting paid earlier is worth more than the time saved.
Meeting notes into follow-up emails. After a call, I paste my messy notes, and it drafts the recap email. What we agreed, what I owe, what they owe, by when.
Same rule as always. Drafts folder, never auto-send. But going from I should send a recap to here's a recap ready to edit turned a thing I did sometimes into a thing I do every time. Consistency, not speed, is the win.
A focused feed. Instead of scrolling, one workflow watches a handful of sources for a single topic I care about, filters out the noise, and gives me 5 items a week.
Build time, 30 minutes. Time saved? Honestly hard to measure, but attention saved is real, and it replaced a habit that used to eat 20 minutes of every evening.
Number 8, the dumbest one, and I love it. My downloads folder files itself. Invoices go to accounting, images to assets, contracts to a client folder. Everything else gets archived weekly.
15 minutes to build. No AI needed for most of it, just rules. Which is the reminder that a lot of AI automation doesn't need AI at all, and the non-AI version is usually more reliable.
A shutdown routine. At 6 each evening, it closes my open loops, pulls anything unfinished into tomorrow's list, posts the day's numbers, and sends me one line telling me I'm done.
That last part sounds silly, and it's the most valuable thing on the list. Having something tell me the day is finished is the only reason I stop working at a reasonable hour.
Now, honesty. 3 of these were not worth the build time, and I'll name them.
The focused feed, it works, but it replaced one scrolling habit with a smaller scrolling habit. What actually fixed my attention was deleting the app, not automating around it.
The article summaries. I use them less than I expected, because for anything that matters, I read it properly anyway. And for anything that doesn't, I shouldn't have saved it.
And the notes work, but only if you already have a capture habit that works. I didn't, so it helped. If you do, this is a solution looking for a problem. If you take one thing from this list, make it the screenshot reader. 20 minutes, no AI expertise, and it removes a friction you hit constantly without noticing, copying text out of an image. Here's the honest reason it wins. Every other automation on this list saves you a chunk of time occasionally. That one saves you 5 seconds constantly. And constant beats occasional in a way that's hard to believe until you live with it. 10 seconds a day of removed friction over a year doesn't just save an hour. It removes the little decision each time about whether the task is worth doing at all. That's the real win, and you can't measure it in minutes.
And what's next on my list for when I do this again? 3 things I deliberately didn't touch this weekend because each needs more than an hour.
First, expense categorization from bank exports. Boring, high frequency, and my accountant would thank me. Second, a proper client portal that updates itself instead of me sending status emails. Third, turning finished projects into case study drafts automatically, because I never write them and I always regret it.
I keep that list running in a note, and every item on it earned its place by annoying me twice. That's the only qualification an automation idea needs. It annoyed you more than once.
9 builds, about 7 hours total. And the lesson wasn't technical at all. It's that the value of an automation has almost nothing to do with how impressive it is.
The screenshot reader took 20 minutes, and I use it daily. The invoice generator took an hour, and it changed when I get paid. The clever ones I was excited about are the ones I'd skip. Frequency beats sophistication every time. Before you build anything, ask how many times a week you'd actually trigger it. And be honest, because the answer is usually lower than the fantasy.
So if you want to do this yourself, don't copy my 9. Spend 1 week writing down every small friction as it happens. Then pick the 3 that showed up most often. Those are your automations, and they'll be boring, and that's the point.
If you want the 7 bigger workflows I run, or the honest breakdown of what N8N is and isn't, both are on the channel. Subscribe for the real mechanics, no hype, and I'll see you in the next one.